Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents Predict the Outcome for AEW Full Gear. Yes, we were supposed to have an AEW ring report, but we decided like if we have pay-per-views for any of the promotions, we're gonna have ring report predict the outcomes. Especially like for SmackDown, close to being by, you know the deal. But we want to get you all the matches, the predictions, the previews, and much more. Like I said, this is the Pro Wrestling Show presents Predict the Outcome for AEW Full Gear. We're full gear in effect, as you see the main event right there, and a return of AEW debut and a return to wrestling. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and scan. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. All right, we're gonna kick things off with this. Everyone was talking about it, raving about the elephant in the room right here. Death Triangle defend the World Trios Tag Team titles against former champions, the Elite. Now we know that the Elite has been some aim controversy as of late, speaking on one particular person that we shall remain nameless in this whole scenario. But the Elite is back after making a lot of subliminal messages and stuff on that the Elite is back and they are set to get their gold back from the AEW Trios Tag Team Champions, the Death Triangle. I meant to say, the Dark Order or something. Well, we know that the Elite is back. Ain't no brainer. The Elite will win this match and regain their six-man tag team championships back on the precipice. The Elite will get their belts back after what was going on with that controversy after All Out and stuff. You know, what an All Out event it was, telling you right now. Also, too, this match for the interim women's championship, Tony Storm defends her interim women's championship against Jamie Hayter. These two women were roommates. Now they are the best of enemies. These two want to collide and beat the holy crap out of each other, but it's not getting much attention. I think a little attention. I think Tony Storm wants to be the undisputed women's champion, but she has to wait till Thunder Rosa returns. So Tony Storm will win this match and retain her championship in this scenario. Also, too, a another match that a lot of people are looking forward to, another women's match, is Dr. Britt Baker taking on Saraya, better known as Paige. Dr. Britt Baker and Saraya had a war of words between the two women. Dr. Britt Baker saying this is her house, this is the house she built AEW, and she will welcome Saraya, but Saraya has to showcase that. Dr. Britt Baker showing an impassionate promo as a baby facing way, but she's a heel. Well, Britt Baker here to defend her turf as she's letting visitors in. You know how they go. But we know that Saraya Page doesn't take too kindly of that she's gonna walk in the door and kick. Look for Saraya to get the win over Britt Baker to submit herself into being AEW women's wrestling. I think we know that Saraya wants that wants the fire and wants that desire. She has a desire. Look for Saraya to win her match over Dr. Britt Baker in the match that everyone's been talking about. It's more like a women's championship match when you think about it, but it ain't no women's championship match. It's more like a personal rivalry and personal grudge match between the two women. So look for that. Also, too, what else? Also, too, this is the match between these three unstoppable machines: Powerhouse Hobbs, Warlow, and Samoa Joe. But this time, Warlow's TNT championship is on the line instead of Joe's television championship. We know that these three men have been trying to tear each other apart limb by limb, and the only way to do it is in a wrestling ring where you can see fit to beat your opponent. where Warlow made a crucial mistake, calling out saying he'll take on anybody, any title holder. Samoa Joe took issue with that. Samoa Joe didn't like that. Powerhouse Hobbs has been in the back of Warlow. Now Samoa Joe interjects himself into this match as well. Samoa Joe sending a message to Warlow that hey, you're not the only game in town neither. I I'm going to prove myself too and prove myself as a dominant television champion. Warlow's TNT championship will be on the line between these two matches. I think Warlow gonna have his is gonna have his his day rung as we can tell. Look for they want to say Powerhouse Hobbs to win, but I'm gonna go with Warlow. These three men want to beat the living hell out of each other. Let them beat the living hell out of each other. A pot full of money between three men who about the same size, same physique, same mass, or same strength, same dominance. So look for Warlow to win and win decisively over his two opponents. Speaking of that, another match that's been added right here. Chris Jericho defends the Ring of Honor Championship against former champion Daniel Bryan and former champion Claudio, better known as Cesaro, and Sammy Guevara as the wild card. Now we know Chris Jericho can rely on Sammy Guevara, but can Sammy Guevara step on his own and show that he wants to be champion so bad? We know Daniel Bryan wants the belt so bad. Daniel Bryan, who has been precursor, has been like a leftover. If you think about it, on Thanksgiving, not getting enough attention as he should. Daniel Bryan wants the opportunity to become Ring of Honor World Champion. It might not be his time, but he needs to get that pinfall win. Look for Chris Jericho to find a way and cheat to stay as Ring of Honor champion over these three men. This is gonna be a phenomenal match. I say one of the matches is one of the two matches I'm looking forward to seeing at that. Speaking of that, another match that's been causing a lot of attention. Nia Rose taking on Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship, the Women's Championship, the secondary championship of AEW. Nyla Rose has been stealing Tony Stone, stealing Jade Cargill's belt, and Jade Cargill wants her belt back. Nyla Rose been proclaiming that she is the TBS champion. Well, now Rose can end that theory, end that falsehood by beating Carhill and becoming the TBS champion, the undisputed TBS champion. So TBS champion Jay Carhill will win her match, dominating Nyla Rose. This should be for more a formidable opponent for Jade to take on Nyla Rose. So look for that match as well. Also, too, former tag team partners and buddies lock in inside a 15-foot solid steel cage. Jungle Boy Jack Perry takes on Luchasaurus with Christian at his side. We know that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus have been tag team champions, but Christian was the driving force to make them the tag team champions. After Christian shows his jealousy and his envy over Jungle Boy's popularity, now the time that Christian wants to have Luchasaurus turn on Jungle Boy. At first, we thought Luchasaurus and Christian was going at each other, but the money wasn't them together. The money was them being apart. Now we see these two men battling out for respect and betrayal. Now Jungle Boy Jack Perry takes on Luchasaurus in a match, in a grueling match inside of a steel cage. Look for this to be blood and guts, as it should be. Look for Christian to get himself involved some way, somehow. Look for Jungle Boy Jack Perry to win this match by any means necessary. I can tell you that right now. Also, too, another match I'm looking forward to seeing. A match that goes back almost 25 years. If you think about it, WCW and then TNA and now AEW. They're gonna redo it again. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal teamed up again. They ain't teamed up again like this since Ric Flair's last match when they took on Ric Flair and Andrade. And now Jeff Jarrett, Double J Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal, his protege, takes on Sting and Darby Allin. We know Sting and Jeff Jarrett has a long history, dating back to WCW in the late '90s and TNA in the mid 2000s. Now these teams want to go at each other. Now we saw this. This is how it started. Darby Allin getting receive a chair shot in the head by Jeff Jarrett out of nowhere, and Jeff Jarrett came back to TV. Jeff Jarrett, the only person within a year that's been in all the promotions, including WWE, AEW, even been to Impact. That's the company he founded. Jeff Jarrett teaming up with Jay Lethal to take on Sting and Darby Allin. I mean, it's a match that's nostalgia to me. This match is nostalgia. Look for Sting and Darby Allin to win this match over Jeff Jarrett and his cronies. Jeff Jarrett might have an ace on his sleeve, like he always do, and Jeff Jarrett might be the one to rectify the situation. But like I said, this match is a nostalgia match. Sting and Jeff Jarrett. When you can think about the NWA title at Bound for Glory 2006, who can forget that match? And stuff. But look for Sting and Darby Allin to win their match over Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. All right. And finally, the main event. The main event. We can show the main event pit scene. Could we have the main event? All right. We'll just show this. This is the main event for the AEW World Championship. As you see at the bottom, MJF finally getting the opportunity to take on Jon Moxley. A lot of people are talking about this match, saying that MJF might be having some up his sleeve and stuff. But before we get to that, look for the we didn't have a graphic for the Acclaim. So we want to say look for the Acclaim to defeat Swerve and Our Glory in their match for the tag team championships. And that might set up a match between the Acclaim and FTR down the road. So look for that. We was trying to get stuff that done, but we turn our attention back. MJF has been talking about ever since he got to AEW that he was going to be world champion. This is his moment. We thought that CM Punk was going to be the one he was going to dethrone to become the world champion. But CM Punk is on a different landscape now. Things happen for a reason. Well, MJF taking on Moxley, who has been the standard bearer of AEW, the first 3-time AEW champion. And you see Lord William Regal in the background. A lot of people are claiming that William Regal and MJF had that little infamous promo, if you want to call it, that Garner and Callis posted MJF, talking about MJF wanting emails, and Regal didn't see MJF as a talent, but told him to come back when he proved himself. And it could be the kiss of death for the champion Moxley. So Moxley believing everything William Regal's saying, but this was the promo, the infamous promo that we're talking about that people are raving about and stuff. But like I said, this is a match of nutrition, so we know something's gonna go down, and we're gonna see that MJF will become the new AEW champion. And a lot of people are thinking that William Regal could be the one to could screw Moxley to become champion some way, somehow. So we'll see. We'll see how they all gonna play out and stuff. All right. That ends your pro wrestling show. Predict the outcome for AEW Full Gear. Let's move forward. The pro wrestling hot topics. On pro wrestling hot topics, we talk about Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis, could he be AEW bound? And I'll tell you why. Nick Aldis has a problem with the NWA. The NWA announced that Nick Aldis has been suspended, but he's still paid, suspended with pay. And Nick Aldis felt like creative control by the NWA's creative direction. We know that his wife, Mickey James, had did the event Empower But the NWA saying that it really didn't draw as it thought it did when women's card. The same with WWE. So we put the connection together. We know Nick Aldis and Jeff Jarrett are boys. So could Jeff Jarrett lure Nick Aldis to a NWA to a AEW contract, and then two, could Nick Aldis go to WWE and go against Cody? You never know. But I'm thinking Nick Aldis is going to AEW. It just makes sense. Everything is put on the map. So look for Nick Aldis joining AEW instead of WWE. That's my belief. Speaking of that, future AEW champion MJF, he'll be playing Lance Von Erich in the movie Iron Claw. MJF getting the insight playing Lance Von Erich. I think he would have been better playing Gino Hernandez, like Jim Cornette said. But hey, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out, and we'll see how it goes for MJF with that, due to deadline reports and stuff. So hey, all right, we're gonna end that right there. You're probably gonna be looking at this man right here, MJF, as the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So we'll wait and see and how the results gonna be. Join us this Wednesday for a full recap coverage of what went down at AEW Full Gear. We'll get all that. Could Tony Khan redeem himself with that last media conference, or whatever you want to call it? And now we know. So thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Full Gear Ring predict the outcome for 2022. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long, and thank you for watching another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.